Lights out at Katie's house. Lights up Barry's house, bedroom setting. This time lights up as Joe and the volcano finish. Katie is curled in the bed back to Barry. She has a long flannel nightgown on. Barry is dressed in full pajamas.
You barely talked to me tonight.
Oh, really? Just preoccupied, I guess. Lots of stuff going on in the department.
I think it's about me sleeping with Nathan.
You want to talk about it?
Why haven't you asked me anything about it?
It's not really my business.
But you set it up.
Just doing a favor for a couple of friends.
That's how you look at it?
Yeah.
Then why wouldn't you look at me when we made love?
What are you talking about?
You always looked at me when we made love. I liked the way you did that. It made me feel pretty. Tonight you had your eyes closed the whole time.
I didn't realize that.
When we kissed, it felt like I was kissing a mannequin.
Look, I don't know what you're getting at.
I think you do.
You're imagining things.
Lights down at Barry's house. Lights up at Katie's house.
You made me feel like a whore. Nathan didn't do that. He couldn't do that. He was a worm. No, a slug. A slimy slug. I didn't respect him enough for his opinion to matter, but I wasn't prepared for you to feel the way you did.
I was so stupid and mixed up. I didn't think it through before. Didn't stop for a moment to think about it afterwards. I wouldn't let myself think about you or any woman. I was still reeling from my last divorce. Well, that was my excuse. I'm so full of shit. Truth is, I come by being a misogynist dickhead naturally. Hell, if Nathan had asked to fuck my mother, I would have said sure, and she was dead. Hell, I probably would have thought a touch of necrophilia in my cool orgy pad would have been interesting.
You were pretty outrageous. But I knew that, Barry. It's not like I was thinking everything through either. I just figured that I could prove to you that I could be as outrageous as you were, as outrageous as you needed me to be.
Katie, I really believed you needed the money. Or I let myself believe it, I'm not sure.
I should have said something about it. The first time you brought it up, I knew you were taking something I had said about Daddy and using it, but I just pimped you like you were pimping me. I didn't think it mattered since I wasn't fucking him for the money. I figured it didn't matter. I was wrong.
Because I made you feel like a whore.
It'd be easy just to blame you, but nothing's that simple.
Katie goes and looks at bookshelves. She finally finds the book that she is looking for and takes it down from the shelf.
This is supposedly a safe place. Hopefully I know my husband better than I knew you. This is one of my sewing books, and he never looks in my craft books.
She takes out an envelope and passes it to Barry. He reaches inside and he pulls out a check.
At first I didn't even realize why I wasn't cashing the check.
The asshole. Complete asshole. He wrote you a check.
Neither of us should be surprised. He was consistent. After you started treating me like a whore, actually a bit later, after we had split up, I realized I hadn't cashed it because I was making believe if I didn't, then I wasn't a whore. But deep down, while I was doing it, I felt dirty. I felt like I was prostituting myself. I tried to rationalize that I did it for you, but it wasn't you that was doing it, that did it. I did it to myself.
My God, Katie, it's so much worse than I ever realized. I thought somehow that apologizing, getting your forgiveness would be good. I wasn't thinking any less selfishly than ever. There can't be forgiveness for the unforgivable.
Barry, I forgave you a long time ago. Along the way, I've learned forgiveness is a gift to yourself. Living with hate or dislike, whatever, just poisons you.
Thank you for forgiving me, even if you say it was for yourself. Katie, can I ask you one last question?
You can ask.
Why do you still have the check?
Because I haven't forgiven myself. It's the self-inflicted wounds that are the deepest. But I suspect you may know that, Barry.
Why do you say that?
That night, After you told me what Nathan wanted, after we talked and fought and then lied down to go to sleep, I stayed awake. And I looked at you for a long time. All sorts of things were going through my head. I was pretty confused. I kept hearing parts of Honey and thinking about two people loving that much. Just before I turned over to go to sleep, I looked at you and I was sure you were asleep, so I said something to you. And you seemed to move, but you never opened your eyes. I've always wondered, Barry, did you hear what I said?
It was barely a whisper. You said, "Why can't you just let me love you?"
You need to go, Barry.
Yes. I really appreciate
I know.
it. Don't worry, I mean, I won't bother you
I
again.
know. I'm sorry about Rex.
I know.
They are at the door. Katie opens it.
Goodbye, Barry.
Goodbye.
Katie shuts door. She goes back over to the end table and picks up the envelope with the check. She looks at it, then puts it back in the book and walks to the bookshelf. Lights go down as she is placing it back on the shelf. The end.